I'm a cyclist and I live in the Pennines, and welcome to my channel. And on today's ride we've got a fantastic trip out to West Lancashire, where we're cycling to a cafe in Rufford. The parkour is going to be challenging, with some nice climbs and some pretty good descents, where we were able to cruise at some pretty nice speeds. And the trip distance is going to be 84 miles with 4,900 feet of elevation gain. We actually averaged 17.2 miles per hour with a maximum speed of 45 miles per hour, which in new money is 72 kilometers an hour, and the ride time was 4 hours and 49 minutes. And we'll tell you more about that later when we look at the maps and the details of the ride. And it all started at the rendezvous point in my local town, and I must admit, I'm liking the look of it. It's had a lot of money thrown at it, and it's brought it right back up into the 21st century.
Right, well, we're at the meeting point. I can see two riders. Hey up!
How do?
Well, we've got a good turnout and we're going to a new cafe. It's called the Boathouse Cafe and it's somewhere near Ormskirk. So come on, let's go do a ride.
And so we're headed out towards Norden, which is on the A680, with the climb of the Albets ahead.
Now we're on the Albets climb, it's the A680, and you might have seen other YouTubers on this climb recently, and it's not who you think, it's Owen and Mike! So come on, let's get on the back. Mike, give us a wave. Keep going, pal. So, I think we've got one more off the back. Get this camera. We're on two cameras today. So as you can see now on this plateau, I'll catch up and I'll get him on the back. He can draft behind me. We're doing 24 mile an hour now. We've got a nice wind. Are you right? Yeah. Are you there?
Yeah. Very slowly, at least he's getting out.
So here we are on the main descent of the day, and it is in our local hills. And whilst I was filming, I think there was a near miss behind me. So there comes Mike, just coming through. I'll put the camera away. Now we can enjoy this descent as we approach Turn Village with Edenfield ahead. Just bridge that little gap there and I'll make my way towards the front. And in blue, right on the front, you can see Owen, and we're cruising along here to around 34 to 35 miles per hour, and we maxed out at around 38 on this occasion. A nice right-hander. In fact, there's someone ahead up the road in orange. I can see that looks like Phil. Got a left-hander approaching. You've got to be mindful of grids on this road as well. Now that's Phil. He'd put a bit of a turn on the front there, and I'm just shadowing there over Owen's shoulder. Here's Turn Village. You've got to watch for turbulence here in the air, and you can actually feel your wheels get caught out with side winds there. And there's Lee flying past like a rocket with Andy. And these temporary lights bring everything to a halt. And it's Ramsbottom next.
Okay, 15 mile into the ride and we're at Ramsbottom. So we're going to keep going this way, heading out towards Edgeworth. Okay, as you can see we're on the outskirts of Bolton now. Edgeworth is that way. Here comes the guys. Got a nice pace going, nice tailwind. The sun's out with black skies around.
So here we are now on the A675, and this was the best part of the ride in my opinion. We're not far from Roddlesworth, with Abbey Village not too far away either. And this was a high speed section, and it looked like we were racing. I can assure you, we were just enjoying a really good ride. So looking at the map, that's where we're based in the United Kingdom. But let's have a look in more detail. So there's the route profile highlighted in green, and as you can see it's quite undulating. So there's Ramsbottom, where we passed through earlier on, and that's where we currently are at 28 miles into the ride, with Exton next at 36 miles, and finally the cafe at 46 miles. Let's get back to the action on the road. So here we have Chris on the left in the red helmet, and we've got Carl there with some pretty good cadence. We're all going to be on the big ring here, probably pushing a 53 or a 50-14 or 50-13, something like that. And in orange there's Phil, and there in the white stripes, that looks like Steve, Owen and Lee on the front. I'm coming through here, and to get to the front you're putting in a lot of effort. And I know all the guys will be behind me, getting on the back wheel. We've got a nice straight road ahead of us, probably cruising at around 35 miles per hour here. And if you lose a wheel at this speed, you'll be spat straight out the back, so you've always got to be on it. There comes Owen. He puts a really nice bit of power through the pedals there. I'm just holding that gap, and I wasn't sure if somebody else was going to jump in there. But we're still continuing with this really great pace. In fact, I can actually freewheel by the looks of things. And Owen's got a nice steady cadence there. Lee comes through there, look at his cadence, so much quicker, with Steve following him pretty closely. Now I do know that Owen runs a 52 from chainring, and Lee runs a 50, and I think you can see that. And it's also down to rider style, of how comfortable you are at spinning gears. And some of the guys in the group ride with a watt meter, and they often say that if you tucked in the pack, you're just tapping away at 150 watts, while the guy in the front could be doing 400 watts, maybe 500 watts. But I don't use one. All I know is that this feels pretty quick. There comes Mark on the inside. Who's that on the inside? There's Phil as well. And if ever you do this, let the person in front of you know. They can end up in a right mess across the road. Again, Owen's freewheeling, I'm freewheeling, but Lee on the front, he will be putting some power through them pedals. And at this stage, I think everyone's realising this is pretty good. I think at times it's a little bit like when you look at your puppy dog and it has that look in its eyes, and it wants to start what you call mad haring or chasing its tail. Well, this is what the guys do. We all just seem to instinctively think, right, let's go. It looks pretty flat. We've got gaps developing there, and I can see Owen, he's going towards the front. We're probably doing around 40 miles per hour here. There goes Mark, he's pushing up a bit more. Now by the looks of that, there's a gap. So I'll try and bridge the gap, get through. Look at the cadence of Phil there, that is super cadence. Mark's cadence is a bit lower. Looks like he's cycling with more of a measured approach. Same with Steve, nice and steady. And we're briefly all back together. Because we're not far off the legal speed limit, and I go for it here. This is where I saw 45 miles per hour, but at this pace you just can't afford to look down. And very shortly we're going to slow down and take the next left turn. But that was a fantastic section of tarmac to ride on, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We come down to a gentle rolling stop and have a good chat about that moment.
I saw 45 there, and it weren't that downhill, was it really?
I saw 46.
Did you? Oh yeah.
That's a bull. That's an old one.
Not heard that for a long time.
Did I just hear get off and milk it?
Oh yeah. Right, well, we've been travelling now for 2 hours exactly, and we've done 35 miles, so we're fair moving, and we're in Chorley. Some nice lanes back there.
Rufford. Right, my garden further and further. Yeah, we go right now, don't we?
Right, the guys, they're round the corner. We're not sure which road we're meant to be on at the moment. I don't know, I've not planned the ride. I know we're going out towards sort of Southport way, so that's the road we normally go on, near this pub here. So here comes the guys now. I think we actually know where we're going.
Well, we're having a debate. Owen is convinced he knows the way.
Yeah.
I'm not that convinced.
We'll end up somewhere though, won't we?
We'll end up somewhere that's there's black pudding for Mike.
We need black pudding for Mike. Where's Mike? Yeah. Mike! Get your black pudding nose out, we'll find a cafe.
Yeah.
I've got my milk nose out. Don't say that.
Can't put that on.
He's just said an inappropriate word there.
And then it was back to more of this.
Okay, we're 41 mile in. We're near a pub called the Original Farmer's Arms, near Eccleston. They've got to get the coordinates for this cafe into the Garmin, because we're still not 100%, but we're getting warm. You got the right way of putting it? Are we on the right track? Look at these! Liking them. Is that a new bike?
Yeah.
What is it?
Scott Addicts Pro.
I thought, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's sleek, isn't it?
But anyway, we were really close to the cafe. It was getting nice and flat out there. Some fantastic countryside.
8:59 now.
Right.
So all we've done is cut off
Yeah.
up there to Southport.
How far to the cafe, Lee?
Not a clue, mate. Not a clue. Can't be far away.
45 miles in now. Very potholed road this, isn't it?
And then finally, we found the turning for the cafe, and it was time for a well-earned break.
So here we are, Rufford. The Boathouse Cafe looked quite nice, the marina there. Yeah, we're 46 miles in. We've averaged 17.8 mile an hour, which isn't too bad either. So come on, let's go and get a brew.
So here we are in Rufford, which history dates back to 1200 AD. And it's a little village in West Lancashire, which is largely rural with no industry. It's mainly farmland, which is classed as Grade 1 agricultural land. And the location is Rufford Canal Lock number 7 on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. It's about 12 miles from Southport and 19 from Liverpool. It was a cracking setting, the food was great, and it was time to do some bike talk.
Stunning though, isn't it? The lake. Oh God. We should do that. Fly up in the morning, do a couple of passes or.
Yeah. He's got his own little channel called Duncan McNutt, and lives in Maryport, and he does them all. He films all his rides. Right, well I'm stuffed and it's time to get going. I could do it a bit longer to let all that go down. I've had to lend Chris me rain jacket. He's only got like t-shirt layers on, so it's pretty cold at the moment. No worries. If it rains I want it back.
That's how much you're charging him.
Is it, mate?
Yeah, but how much you're charging him?
It's free if you're a mate. Okay, we're underway. We're all strung out in a nice line on these lovely flat country lanes, West Lancashire. So anything that happens, I'll keep you posted. We're on a climb now. Is it Parbold Hill?
I think.
And that food's still in my belly, churning around. Okay, we're 52 miles into the ride. We're on Highmore Lane. Here comes the guys going by, and we've all just stopped for a nature break up there.
Hey up.
So come on, let's get on the back of that bunch and catch them up.
And I think we're near Hay Hall Golf Course. I don't know what's going on, but the pace got really quick for some reason. Like I say, I was on the catch up, and you can just see it was all going off everywhere here. Lee's there, he's trying to get right up there to the front. Just passing Carl there on his new bike, and he's smashing it. That was a cracking hand signal there for the pothole by Chris. Always give hand signals for potholes. So yeah, another moment of madness.
How's it going, Lee?
Yeah, good.
Not a bad ride, is it?
Not bad route, mate. Not bad route.
Good country lanes.
Is it though?
Yeah. Lockdown's over because everybody's out. So is it Black Rod, Aspel?
You can go anyway.
Yeah. We've got Winter Hill on that side.
And here we are now on the outskirts of Bolton, not far from Bolton Wanderers football ground, which used to be called the Reebok Stadium. We're 62 miles into the ride, and actually on this day, Bolton were playing a football match against Exeter City, and all they had to do was win and they'd get promoted. And on this occasion they got beat, but they did go up in the end. And again we're on the approach into Bolton, and we've got cycling lanes. Now look at these posts here. I'm not a lover of it because we're cracking on at around 30 miles per hour, and look how close you are to the side streets, the side roads. You're better off at these speeds being on the main road, keeping up with the flowing traffic. Well, that was another great trip out on the bike where we found a really good cafe, some fantastic roads, we had some great riding and a good laugh. And if you like these videos, let me know and I'll keep making them for you. And you have to remember, it's all a bit of fun at the end of the day. But if you're into your cycling or you're new to cycling, I'll always try to offer you the best advice I can, or share the moments with you. Because you never know, this could be you one day, cycling to places like this. I hope this gives you some insight and inspiration of what this great sport's all about. Because one day, this could be you, where you could be cycling long distances and taking on new challenges. And from all the guys in the group, here's a big thumbs up back to you. So cheers people.
Oh, they always go like Billy O, up that dip there near Ashworth Valley. But this is where we split off now, go different directions, the ride's basically over. I've enjoyed that, undulating, nice flat sections, and at times we were going a bit quick. Owen!
Yo,
Is this part of the Ironman route?
this is part of the Ironman
In Bolton?
in Bolton. Bit of information.
Yeah, go on.
Carl's friend,
Yeah,
called Big Steve,
right.
did it, and he only had 5 minutes left.
Wow! Is that 12 hours cut off? Yeah. Oh, hang on, potholes. Whoa. Yeah, go on.
But if you saw Big Steve,
Yeah.
you would understand why.
That's an achievement though, isn't it?
It's an achievement.
Hang on, I can't do this one-handed.
I wouldn't believe it,
Well, I'm going to fall off. Well, I've just seen a signpost there for Wigan. 54 miles in. And believe it or not, you can cycle to Wigan to a pie shop.
And then we ended up in the cafe about 1,000 foot of climbing. Steve were having a tantrum. We'd done about 70 miles before we had a cafe stop, didn't we? And about 10,000 feet of climbing.
I don't know, end of my fingers.
Oh.
There are cameras on.